Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. The NFL blessed our plates with a great meal here. I mean, look at these three games. We got the Packers, Lions.
Great game.
We got the Chiefs, Cowboys. And then we got the Bengals and Ravens and Joe Burrow's return.
Yeah, it's that.
What a way to end Thanksgiving watching Joe Burrow throw bombs to Jamar Chase.
That would be amazing.
What is one thing that you are all thankful for?
I'm thankful for you, Seb.
Damn it, you took my line.
You did. I knew. I read your mind. I had to beat you to it. So now you got to actually think about something you're thankful for. You gotta be a little intentional here.
I'm thankful for Icy Hot. No, I'm thankful for
my knees are thankful.
Thankful for the opportunities. That's it. I'm thankful for the opportunities.
And today we're presented with another great opportunity to spread our knowledge on football and enjoy football and embrace each other.
Yeah, football. Yeah, it's getting down to it, man. We're almost to the playoffs, and looks like we're both gonna be cheering for a team in the playoffs for the first time in how long?
Very long. Very long. It's been very long since both our teams made the playoffs. Probably 3 years.
And right now, the best team in the NFL record-wise are the New England Patriots.
Cool, bro. The last time I said that is when the Eagles were 10-1, and the worst thing possible happened to us. So I'd probably hush up.
We're gonna be at a game in the cold. Please don't say that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just telling you. Please don't say that about your team being the best. Just saying.
What? They all are?
Okay. Yeah. You're right. Enjoy it. All right.
I am enjoying it. That's why I said something.
Congratulations to the Dallas Cowgirls. You won your Super Bowl, by the way, beating us and having the Eagles blow 21 points. I just had to congratulate the Dallas Cowgirls on being Super Bowl champions because they won their Super Bowl in Week 12.
When's the last time
they're
they
Week
made
12 Super Bowl champs? So congratulations.
1981.
I don't know. I wasn't born, and CDs weren't around either. Let's go to my first bold prediction. I'm going back to the well because it hit for me last week. Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown.
By the way, Jahmyr Gibbs possibly ruined my season in fantasy football in one of our oldest leagues. So thank you to that.
So Jahmyr Gibbs, he is coming off a game where he scored 2 touchdowns last week against the Giants.
200 plus yards.
268 yards.
Dude, I watched that game. Oh my God.
He went absolutely berserk, and the Lions are feeding the beast. And the Packers' run defense is very, very inconsistent. Jahmyr Gibbs had 63% of the snaps. Jahmyr Gibbs had 63% of the carries in Week 11, and then he had 75% of the carries in Week 12. So he is getting the work, all right? They are giving him the work. They're giving him the rock. 63% and then 72% last week. It wasn't a fluke when after the bye he got 63 because this following week he just got 72%. And now let's talk about snap share. He had over 70% snap share in Week 11, the first game off the bye, and then he also had over 70% snap share again the following week in Week 12. So back-to-back weeks, he's had over 60% of the rushing attempts and over 70% of the snap share. Wow. In a game where it's a must-win for the Packers, Dan Campbell, in a must-win for the Lions. It's also a must-win for the Packers, though. It's must-win
for
both
The whole division is in a must-win.
Actually, if you think about it, all these games on Thanksgiving, every team is in a must-win.
Yeah, this is like the first Thanksgiving slate we had.
Huge
Like
slate.
I was telling you like 10 minutes ago, this is one of the best Thanksgiving slates we've had in a while because everybody's playing for something.
Yes. So either way, this is for the division crown. And Dan Campbell knows that, and he wants to win back-to-back games on Thanksgiving because he won last year. So I like Jahmyr Gibbs to get a touchdown. Like I said, he scored 2 last week, and then 2 weeks before that against Washington, he scored 3. And he is scoring receiving and rushing touchdowns in both those games. So that's 5 touchdowns. Yeah, 5 touchdowns the last 3 games.
Wow.
I like Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdowns in a home game with a high total with the Lions offense in a must-win game. Wow. Go on with your bold prediction.
I'm going quarterback here. Jordan Love, 225 passing yards. Now, I know this doesn't seem too high, but Jordan Love has not been getting it done. I mean, last game versus the Lions, he only had 188 yards, and that was a win. I mean, they beat the Lions, if I'm not mistaken.
They killed him. That's why he
Exactly.
only had 180
And
yards.
he's only gone over 225 5 times this year, and the last 3 games he didn't even go over 200.
So
and
in the last less than half of his games.
he played the Eagles, which was a defensive
Battle.
showdown. The Giants, which I mean they really don't have anything beside their front 3, and then the Vikings,
Cameron Bynum's all right. Cameron Bynum's all right. Harrison Smith is old.
and the Vikings last game, which was a blowout. So two of those were at home. Okay, Jameis just had 366 in Detroit.
Yeah.
So Love, he could get 225 with a hurt running back room. Okay, Jordan Love is likely to get 225 because of his recent strong performance, improved decision making, and the offense's ability to generate big plays, which was demonstrated in a similar matchup last year against this Lions team. The combination of offensive line providing solid protection, Love's growing confidence in reading defenses, and a history of productive past games against this Lions support this prediction. I believe. Okay.
You have good points right there.
I
Those
need
are two
some
big
love
things.
because last week was really rough for me when it came to passing yards for a certain quarterback that is not on my chest right now. Love was in it.
Would he have been if he hit for you? Would you have came in here with a Drake May jersey?
Yeah, it's
First
pretty,
career 300-yard passing game.
Yeah, it's not like I placed an order for a real Drake May jersey before that game. But we're not going to talk about that. Love was in an upward trend in the weeks leading up to the 2023 Thanksgiving game, and he continued to perform well against the Lions, posting strong advanced metrics and a high passer rating. Love demonstrated the ability to make both short and long throws against the Lions, including a 53-yard completion to Christian Watson, where we don't know where he's been all year. And on the first play, and this was on the first play of the game, which I should mention. The game script with Detroit having an early lead, I think the Packers are going to be playing from behind this whole game. If I'm going to be honest, likely forced to make Love to throw more often than not, which could lead to higher yardage totals. Love has a history of producing big passing yardage totals against the Lions, which could indicate a favorable matchup for him. Lions only allow 192.1 pass yards a game, but Jameis found a loophole for Love, and I think Love will give you 225 at least. And if he doesn't, I hate Love.
You hate Love. I hate Love. I see what you did there. That was smart. So your bold prediction was also a clever poem.
Okay, relax. I'm not no Shakespeare here. Okay.
I like Love. I think it's going to be fireworks. All those games in Detroit are fireworks. All the games
I think it'll be a
Ford
shootout.
Field. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a shootout.
And like you said, you mentioned an injured backfield. Josh Jacobs might not be playing, and if he is playing, he's not 100%.
Exactly.
And the Lions are going to put up points, so therefore the Packers are going to have to throw the ball.
I think the Packers are going to have to play from behind.
The Lions usually start hot, so it makes sense.
Going to my score prediction, Lions win 35-30. Okay, the Lions just won a nail-biter overtime game versus the Giants, and with the Eagles' loss, they are one game behind the Rams for the NFC lead. That is going to be tight when it comes down to it at the end of the year. It's going to be a nail-biter in that.
The Rams lose
okay.
the game.
Key offensive players: Jahmyr Gibbs, and I don't know. The Rams look something else. I thought Tampa was gonna do no. They no. The Rams are
31-7.
The Rams are up there with the Eagles.
Absolutely.
Straight
they
up.
always almost beat us. Go on.
Key offensive players Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown are expected to be heavily involved in this game, and the team is motivated to gain ground in the NFC North as well, because that is a competitive division.
Yes, it
okay,
is.
The Lions are also looking for a measure of revenge for their Week 1 loss to Green Bay. The Lions have a strong record at Ford Field. They average 34.7 points per game in home games since the beginning of last season. Okay, so they're going to put up points on you in this stadium no matter what. The short week is seen as an advantage for the Lions, as the Packers will be traveling to Detroit after playing a Sunday game. Okay, Detroit played a tougher schedule in the first half of the season, while Green Bay played a softer schedule. This makes the Lions more all-out battle-tested. Jahmyr Gibbs is a major threat. He just went off. He just had a legacy game, okay, and he's going to keep doing that, especially after the huge performance versus the Giants. He's going to keep on doing that. for the rest of the season going into the rest of his career. The Lions defense has been performing well, and the offense will need to find a way to get more productive beyond Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. They lost Sam Laporta for the year, which is pretty big because he is
he
a
just
target.
had surgery. He is for the season.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is a target share hog, okay? Lions are more motivated, and they know they have a chance to win the NFC as a whole if they win this game. But it starts now.
Okay, well, you said you had Dan Campbell energy when you gave that rundown right there. You seem pretty fired up. Do you want the Lions to have the first seed in the NFC?
No.
You seem pretty scared of.
They're my
answer
Super
that
Bowl
question.
pick, bruh.
This guy.
What do you
You're
want me to
crazy.
say?
Dude, they're not better than the Rams or the Eagles. They're definitely the third best team in the NFC, and I don't think they're better than the Packers.
Give them a first-round bye. They might choke again like last year to
exactly,
Washington.
so they don't deserve that first round bye.
That's why they're not going to get the first-round bye.
Before I get into my score prediction, I just want to say one thing, okay? We're talking about two teams that did just fall to my Eagles in back-to-back weeks on primetime. We beat the Packers on Monday Night Football, and then we turned around and beat the Lions on Sunday Night Football. So just wanted to mention that real quick.
Do you want a cookie?
So as we talk about this battle of my two sons, I think the better son in the Green Bay Packers win this
Wow,
game.
you're just a Lions
34
hater. That's
to 31.
That's all you are is a
I'm
Lions
not a
hater.
Lions hater, bro. I was on this team when they had DeAndre Swift.
You really think?
okay? And I had DeAndre Swift in
Please tell
fantasy
me
football.
why.
Okay?
Please tell me why.
Let's
Please
talk
do.
about the Packers defense and how it
You
lines
really
up
taking
against
the Packers? Is this like a joke or is this like
No,
for
I'm
real?
taking the Packers. Yeah, I'm taking the Packers. And how it lines up against the Lions offense, okay? The Packers are ranked 10th in passing yards allowed per game. They allow 196 passing yards per game, while the Lions passing offense is ranked first with 266 passing yards per game. Jared Goff has yet to throw an interception at home this season. And yes, the game is at home. While the Packers defense has 6 interceptions on the season, which is 5th most in the entire league. So right now you have a top 10 defense versus the number 1 ranked passing offense, and then a top 10 passing defense, I should say, versus the number 1 ranked passing offense. And then you have a quarterback who hasn't thrown an interception, which is Jared Goff, against a defense that is top 5 in interceptions. I'm going to go against Jared Goff in this situation.
Of course.
Okay?
What else is new?
I love Jared Goff, but you got to remember him for who he is. And I think he folds in this game, and I think the Packers defense steps up. We saw it in the first game. They wiped the floor with him.
EJ's favorite term is Jared Goff is a pumpkin.
He is. He turned into a pumpkin. He had it last year against the Commanders, and he might do it again against the Packers because he also, after he did it against the Commanders, he turned around and did it in the next game against the Packers in this first game of the season this year. The Lions will need to feed Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery as the Packers' run defense has been very inconsistent this year. They're kind of like the Chargers. They go through stretches where they're good, and they start. The Packers did start the season good because they shut down this Lions team.
The Lions could beat this team with just Jahmyr Gibbs.
We're gonna have to see. It's gonna be very interesting. I almost went with the Lions, but the only consistent part of the Packers' defense has been their defensive backs.
Yeah.
The Lions, the way they win this game is feeding David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs because that Packers defense, run defense, is very sketchy. And I think they need to get Gibbs involved in the passing game because that's what the Eagles had to do with Saquon Barkley. Now, let's talk about the Lions defense and the Packers offense. The Lions defense is ranked 5th in total yards allowed per game. So they're allowing the 5th least amount of yards per game.
Jeez, dude.
While the Packers are a top-ranked offense in total yards per game and points per game. So the Packers are averaging 26 points per game against this good Lions defense that doesn't give up most yards. While the Lions can combat that with 30 points per game. Their offense averages 30 points per game. The Lions got lucky last year on Thanksgiving. Okay?
Oh my God.
They did. Barely beating the Bears due to a coaching mishap. It was Matt Eberflus. He got fired. I don't even think Matt Eberflus was allowed on the plane. They still had a timeout remaining in field goal range.
Yeah.
And they did not use it to even attempt a game-winning field goal. It was horrible. I think Dan Campbell lets this game slip away. If he doesn't, kudos to him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. and he just continues to run the ball, because that's how the Lions win this game, is if they run that rock. Because this Packers defense, pass defense, when it's given opportunities, it will force Jared Goff to have turnovers. Okay? I think the Packers get a season sweep against this Lions team, and this Lions team just got pushed to OT against the Giants. So it's not like they're very rested, because they just had a heart attack by Jameis Winston and almost lost. They should have lost that game, from what I hear. They should have lost that game, and they didn't look good against the Eagles. They did better. I'm sorry, they did worse against the Eagles than the Packers did. The Packers did a better job against the Eagles.
I hate to bring
the
this up.
Packers got the ball over midfield. The Lions didn't do that.
You can't use that Giants game because the Giants did blow the Eagles out. So you can't.
Whatever.
The Giants game
You have
isn't.
a good point there. The Giants sneak up on good teams,
It's just like.
but then we turned around and spanked them. But okay.
No, I know. No.
Like
I'm not.
Tank Bigsby played the whole second half.
You were so high on Tank Bigsby a few years ago. So high on him.
Yeah, and guess what? I think every single Eagles game, Tank Bigsby over rushing yards is a lock, because it's set at like 7.5 or something, and he gets like 8 yards a carry.
How you know that off the top of your head.
I do. It's a lock. Shout out to my grandpa. Okay, he said he sent me that in the same game parlay. Shout out to Pappy, and I was like, that's genius. I'm like, Tank over 7.5. I was like, he's gonna get 2 carries and have like 13 yards. He might get that in 1 carry. But
That should be your bold prediction for Friday.
it might be.
Seriously, you got a case for it. And Pappy is my only
Bears
case for it.
do stink against the run, so I might choose that Tank's Bigsby one.
There you go.
Bigsby one.
See y'all in Kansas City and the Cowboys game as we're splitting this one into 3.